Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, YouTubers. And if you're in Greece, Kalimera, Kalispera, Kalinicta. Right, well, had a bit of a to-do. Took Sovereign Bay out to sea last week. Took my friend Andy out fishing. He likes to go fishing. It was his birthday. His yacht's not quite ready really to go out to sea yet, and Sovereign Bay was, so we thought, so off we went. Couple of things happened. Bilge pump in the engine room decided to stop working just at the time when the port side stern gland decided to leak. Fantastic. Anyway, I managed to hotwire the bilge pump and get that working. That was that. Now, for the last few weeks, I've had a problem with the hot water system on Sovereign Bay. As some of you know who follow this channel, Sovereign Bay has 2 showers and a hot and cold running water system. So let's just go through that for the people who haven't watched this before and may have just come across me by accident. So this is the forward cabin, the main double bedroom, and it's got an ensuite with a shower, hot and cold running water. Now then, as we go towards the back of the boat, you've got a cabin here with 2 berths. And obviously that deserves its own shower, so you've got what we call the day heads with the toilet and another shower there, hot and cold running water. And the showers, by the way, are on mixer taps, which are down there. Very good. Fitted in 1981, still very serviceable, although I do need to replace some of the tap washers, which I will get round to doing. Now, we've also got hot and cold running water to the 2 sinks in the galley. So let's tell you what happened. Up here, there's a switch, which is off at the moment for the hot water, well, the water system actually. And then down here, there's the shore power, and there's an immersion switch there. You can put the immersion switch on to heat the water, or it will get fed from the water tanks on the boat. Now, we had a few problems with the water pressure over the last few months. It was playing up, the pump kept cutting in, so I knew I'd got a leak. I checked all the taps, they seem to be fine, although like I say, there is 1 or 2 washers need replacing, but that wouldn't cause the amount of leakage I'd got. And the telltale was that the lazarette locker at the stern of the boat was filling up with fresh water. So I thought it was a pipe off. Further investigation revealed that the calorifier, which is the hot water tank, had a split in it. I found that out yesterday. So, a friend of mine lent me his soldering gear, and I'll show you what I did. We'll get down into the lazarette. Which is at the stern of the boat. I use this as my workshop, as some of you know. It's a bit untidy at the moment. It's got a little washing machine there. So, this is what we've got. Friend of mine, Martin, lent me his blowtorch, some solder, most importantly some flux. I will be buying one of these. I haven't got one in the toolkit and haven't really thought about it until I needed it, so I'll be putting one of those on board the work van. Now then, down here, as you can see, and before you start roasting me on my soldering skills, I'm usually much neater than that. It's just that I wanted to get plenty of solder in there because it's under pressure, probably 15 to 20 psi I would think, off the pump. Now, this is the 150 gallon water tank that feeds the water system to Sovereign Bay. That's all fresh water in there. It runs down to a pipe here which runs into a high pressure pump. Now, when you turn the tap on, the pump recognises as a drop in pressure and starts pushing water from the tank out into the system. And as you can see, it tees off here. That's the cold water system there, and that goes into the calorifier, the hot water tank, which is also fed from the engines. Now, how that works is the engines get hot, the hot water from the engines come down into a coil which is inside this tank and then go back out to the engines, heating the water. Exactly the same as your immersion heater would work, really. The immersion's at the back there from the shore power. Are you following this? Good. The hot water then goes out the top of the tank and round through to the showers, hot taps, etc. So there was a split here. It's probably been like that from new, looking at the way the water was soaking up into this. And the problem is, over the years, this has decided this was waterproof up to a point, and then it's decided to fail. I don't know how long it's been on here, and it's got worse and worse and worse to the point where I've come along and it was no longer serviceable. So there was a split in there. Now, those of you who solder for a living will know you don't heat the solder, you heat the copper or whatever it is you're soldering. So what I've done is I started it here, warming it up here. The split is at the top because heat will travel. Drained the tank out, got it nice and warm. I put plenty of flux on there before I started, which will help the solder flow into the crack. Then I started feeding it, just gently feeding it as my fingers showing, until it went into the, it happens very quickly, it suddenly went into the crack. Then I brought the blow lamp away slightly and started heating the solder and melted some solder over the top of the crack. And so far so good. It seems to have cured the problem. This is a temporary fix, I won't be leaving that. I mean, ideally I could have done with putting a patch over that, but I haven't got any material to do that with just now. And to be honest, it's a 25 litre tank. I have long hair, as you can see. Could do with a bigger tank, so we'll be fitting a bigger tank on there. Watch out for that video. But anyway, yeah, that's what we've done. We've soldered the crack up, and all in the world should be okay for now. Another trick I could have used was instant metal. That stuff you buy from the motor factors. There's some very good products on the market which I've used on engines before now, and they're still running to my knowledge. There's a Rover V8 that the core plugs had popped and it had cracked between the core plugs in the cold weather because he hadn't put any antifreeze in. I managed to fix that with some of that. Now, you could use that, but again, it would be a temporary fix. Some of these, as Jenny, my friend up the way, would say, from A&J Thomas Boat Builders, some of the temporary fixes on her boat have been permanent for about 10 or 15 years. But my mental health wouldn't let me do that, I'm afraid. So there you go. So if you haven't hit the like and subscribe, please do, because I could do with a few more of you. And any comments will be answered, as long as they're not political and they're not roasting me. They'll get deleted then, so you're wasting your time with me. I won't take any notice of that. So from a sunny Gampton, where we're on the mud, it's goodbye from me. I'm off for a cup of tea. I'm letting the solder cool off before I put the pressure back into the tank again, although I have tested it and it seems all right. So there you go. Oh, I had a question about these on one of my videos. It's bones. Now, my mum brought me this. She thought it was funny, which of course it is. As you can see, I don't know whether you can see that, his eyes light up. The things you get given when you're a pirate. Somebody asked me about Greece the other day. Yeah, I'm not sure I'm going to be doing that now. I ideally love to go and live out there. I wanted to take the boat. It's very complicated, and it's getting more and more difficult by the day from what I can see. I'm supposed to be there now, filling the forms out. I think I might be passing my deadline. Still got an open mind about it. I would still love to do it. If anybody's got any ideas of how I can make that work, I have my brown beige biometric 5-year card that I got in December last year. Well, I got it in August last year. Please let me know. Lawyers, accountants out in Greece, anybody like that who can help, let me know. Catch you guys later. Thanks for watching.